Welcome in the ring, folks. Welcome, ringsiders. Welcome, 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 welcome. Good to have each and every one of you with us tonight. How are you guys doing on this Tuesday, the 5th day of August? Yeah, remember, the 5th day of August. How y'all doing, folks? Happy to have all of you here with us tonight. We're back on the road from tomorrow. We're back on the road for tomorrow, folks, because we're in the home stretch. The general and regional elections 2025 here in Guyana. So we're back on the road tomorrow, folks. We're on the road again. Good to have all of you with us, wherever you're joining us from. Super happy that so many of you could join us tonight. Black Ice and Ricky and Rajin and Joseph and Mandy and Erica, Tessa, Vanessa. Good to have all of you. Minty. Good to have all of you folks on the live tonight. Where are you joining us from? Olney and Veronica, Primo, Joy Wong. Good to have you, Jamal Aziz. All of you folks who are joining us at home, whether you're joining us from Bushlot, you're joining us from some far-flung place in the world, you're in the diaspora, we're happy to have each and every one of you here. And it was good while it lasted. We had a little stay in the studio. And it's back out on the road again tomorrow. Erica and Wilma, Brendan, all you other lovely folks. But how we gonna have nice time if we don't go on the road? We gotta go. You see, you gotta stay in the wicket to make the runs. Please and thank you. At least you gotta come on the field and approach the pitch. Good to have you. Yeah. Jilly G, you know the whole story, girl. I'm happy that you don't want to get cussed. I am happy. Ronaldo Cassius and again Paulette and Rajin, Dwayne Collins, good to see you there, and Beryl and Brenda. Carol Wright is here too. Good to have each and every one of you here with us, good folks. But we trust that you all are good and well. Wherever you're joining us from, share the live for us. Smash that emoji button as well so that we can keep on keeping on at our end. Good to see Eva, Linda, and Koana, and Mark. All the beautiful folks joining us tonight. We got Christy and Judith. Judith, how you doing, man? How you doing, Judith? Angela Jordan on the live too. Thank you so much for the take, Angela. Thank you so much. Brenda Bailey and all you other fantastic folks who are joining us tonight. You all say we're back the same time from last night. Well, it's me on. I'm bored. I like this time real bad, you know, pink. That little sheen it got there. Good to see all of you, Marcus and Andrea, Angela, Laverne, Diane, Viber, Trevor. Good to have all of you on the live, good folks. Let us start at home tonight. Let us start at home tonight. You all know once we start here. You all know once we start here, nothing irregular. Once we start at home turf, you know, once we start at home turf, things tend not to pick up at all. But we're so happy to have all of you with us. Just making ourselves a little comfortable here. Happy and delighted to have all of you join us this evening. Again, from the many, many places that you all join us from. It's always a privilege to have you wonderful folks with us. You know how, right? You know how we see it. Good to have all you beautiful folks with us this evening. Wherever you're joining us from is pace and is power. Share the live for us. Smash that emoji button as well. Wherever you're joining us from, happy and delighted to have all of you here with us, good folks. You all know how we do it. You know how we see it. Nothing short of happy and delighted to have all of you with us. As you can tell, folks, this is where we are. It's what's happening. And it's what's going down. General Regional Elections 2025, September 1. This is where it's at. This was all the noise and the confusion, the fight down, the abusing down, the fussing. It is what it's all about. But we are going to keep a level head and cruise to the finish line. That's what we're going to do. And this is where, good folks, this is where we're starting from tonight. We're gonna start light and then we're gonna come in. Yeah. Bring this plane down a little bit. So happy to have hundreds of you now Well over 1,000 of you joining us live. Abida Monroe, you know the whole thing top to bottom. Abida. Abida says, vote Apnu. Wilma Grant and Christopher George, Mandy Cummins and Quana Mingo. Good to have you. Sonia Massey Cobb is here as well, and Pamela Thornton. Great to have all of you. And whoever else watching who we may not be calling the what do you call them? The observer missions. Paulette Rafferty. Good to have all of you folks joining us tonight. And you know, what a night it's been. What a day it's been. You know, the day's far spent. And here we are, folks, moving on. Abida, Terrence Beaton, Waveney Doris, and Ingrid Carter. Good to have you, Alison Cartier. Good to have you, Diane and Charles, and all you beautiful folks. This is what all these stress is about. General Regional Elections 2025 on September 1. I hope you all are making a plan to not only to go and vote, but to take others with you. To take others with you, right? And have you, when you finish, you come and you carry the street, the neighbors at the back, the side, the front, even the ones you don't talk to. Seeing lots of folks saying, vote Apnu, right? You can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that. Too many of our girls are missing. Too many of our girls are missing. And we noted this today. Right? We noted this today. Was it a 15 and a 13-year-old? I think it was. These young women, one Aniza Bangat and Shivani Russell, 13 years and 15 years respectively. Anima and Shivani, is it Shivane? They're both students of the Suzdike Secondary School and known to be friends. And they went missing yesterday morning. Right? They've been missing yesterday morning. They've been reported entering a black Toyota 192 motor vehicle bearing the license plate PJJ 1933. And if you have any information, let us get these young women back home. Too many of our young women are going missing. Unsavory things are happening to too many of our young people. To too many of our young people. Mark, we see you there. You know, happy early birthday. We're a little early. Saw you there, Mark. And let us not forget Adriana Young and how this regime tried to hoodwink us. Oh, she went in a black and red Ram and she was seen leaving the hotel and all of that. And the girl was right in there. The girl was right in there. You know, Kwana, Mandy, this whole saga here, this is going to go down in the history books in this country. Right next to Monica Reese. Right up next to Monica Reese, that infamous case. This is going to go down right there. 13 years old, you know the whole story top to bottom. Adriana Young reported missing on the 23rd of April this year. The people searched the pool 5 times. She wasn't there. They held vigil outside of that hotel double day. She didn't went there. They sent up Birdness to move the people. He made another search in the pool. Live on social media. He says she's not in it. Look, watch. The girl not there. Lo and behold, on the 24th, around 10 in the morning, body in the pool. Body in the pool. You understand why I got some trust issue. Some trust issues with this government. A lot of them. A lot of trust issues. Adriana Young is on the ballot, folks, September 1, 2025. If you have any information concerning Aniza Bagat, Shivani Russell, were missing yesterday morning, let us help get them back home. 661-4716 is the number you can call. 661-4716. I'm told they're going to treat the information as confidential. Too many of our young people are going missing. I just want to underscore that. It's not natural. You got a little country like ours. We got with 7 people here. 2 got missing today. Let's help to get them back home. Right? Black Eyed Shelly and Gisela and Mandy. It's too many of our young women who have gone missing. And our thoughts and our prayers are with them. Our thoughts and our prayers are with them. Too many of them are going missing. Politically, Forward Guyana unveiled their manifesto today. They say it's a contract with the people. I'm just happy nobody has to fight them like people have to fight win. When is your manifesto coming out? Have to fight win. Who's the prime ministerial candidate for win? It's a big negotiation happening. Who is the prime ministerial candidate for win? These guys, Forward Guyana, unveil a manifesto. You know, we want you guys to take a little listen to some of what they said today during the press conference that they held to unveil the manifesto, good folks. Take a look and take a listen to some of that. Some highlights from the unveiling of the Forward Guyana Movement manifesto.
In politics, and we feel it. Whether you live in Georgetown or Latham, whether you're an Afro-Guyanese or Indo-Guyanese, I promise to end race as a political currency. No more dog whistles, no more division. The only tribe that matters now is Guyana. Forward Guyana isn't just a party, it's a movement, a mindset, and a mirror. And today we looked Guyana squarely in that mirror and say, no more waiting.
We ask for your vote, not for power, but for purpose. A new Guyana is possible. Let us build it together.
As a fighter for justice, a fighter for integrity, a fighter for dignity, a fighter for every Guyanese who's ever felt unseen, unheard, and left behind. I'm not looking for office. I'm here on an assignment. And that assignment is to liberate the Guyanese people from the grip of hopelessness and put power where it belongs, back in your hands.
We must reject this notion that we have to live in a state of permanent fear and frustration. Change can't wait because we cannot afford to lose another generation. People want to keep their dignity. They do not want handouts. They simply want a hand up. This is not about winning power. This is about returning power to you. And I think that in itself is groundbreaking and it's revolutionary. And it challenges the idea that not because I don't look like you means I can't fight for you.
The life of the line. And we need competent people who are honest and who demonstrate to all that you stand for is right.
Some group of people have to be willing to change this thing, man. And I think we are the generation that will see that change. We are the generation that will see power being returned to the people.
Yeah. That's some of what the Forward Guyana movement said today during the launch of their manifesto. They said it's a contract with the people. And folks, let's toot our own horn a little bit. You know, they got some news entities, they just give you some cover shots, and they talk over the people thing. They would start on Forward Movement Guyana, and then they gone on to some PvP stuff. That's how disrespectful. We give you guys two minutes there uninterrupted of what the folks said. You know, even Jagjo them, we're not featured like that. This is the opposition in this country. And I'm speaking specifically for the international observers who I know are watching us. Y'all watch NCN and so on, and read the Chronicle and DPI and see if you see any opposition voices featured, and it's not in a negative way. It's not a negative way. You can see Gita and German and whoever else. No, because they sing a different tune. So you'll see them now. You see? But we want you all to get valid and credible information. And that's why we want to, the folks' voices must be heard. You know, when I was reading law, there was a phrase, I don't even want to attempt the Latin now. Right? Hear the other side, that's how it's interpreted. Don't only hear you side, hear the other side. Because I know enough of y'all, right? Waveney and Bonita and Mandy. If you only hear a new side, you're in the echo chamber. Marlon Thomas, please and thank you. Again, quite delighted there to give you guys some of what was said by this is the Forward Movement Guyana folks. You know? Yep. It's happy to hear some folks in. It's going good. Right? It's be going good. And that is something. Out of nowhere. It's be something. Folks, share the live for us. Smash that emoji button as well. Wherever you're joining us from, we are happy and delighted to have all of you outside with us this evening. Please and thank you. We're trying to get the graphic back. But it is what it is. Moving on, folks. Moving on. As we're talking about political things, just in case you missed it during the course of the day, the Forward Movement Movement unveiled a manifesto today. We also saw the Alliance for Change. They were in the Upper Mazzaroni region. Of course, this is the hustlings period as we head into the home stretch of general and regional elections 2025. We saw the prime ministerial candidate in a number of places along with the presidential candidate of the Alliance for Change. I think the last stop I saw was at Philippi in the home village, home turf of the prime ministerial candidate, Laura George of the Alliance for Change. Just wanted to bring you guys up to speed with some of the happenings, you may have missed during the course of the day while you were busy. And, let me complain a little bit now, like some people. Let me complain a little bit now. We went through the pains of curating this information because we love you all so much. Just in case you missed it. Somewhat transpired today. The launching of the Forward Guyana Movement Manifesto, the Alliance for Change, doing the work in the Upper Mazzaroni region. And then we got some other things that happened as well during the course of the day. And then I think we're going to circle back to some of the politics. Some more of the politics. We saw our Apnu brothers and sisters, of course, always moving. Don't come around we funny. Always moving. And this was a meeting at Beirut. I love to see the young people on the front line. Love to see our young people on the front line. Of course, the women always carry the struggle. You see how many of our young women are flanking our young brother Lloyd there in Beirut. Thanks to you women. You all always carry this struggle, right? Always. As it was then, it is now. Thank you for your broad shoulders. Please and thank you. So we saw our Apnu brothers and sisters, of course, fanning out all over this country. And that is how you do national elections. Some people will say they are national parties, But if they stand up here, they can't get a meeting in Babis, you know. They can't get a meeting in my born tongue, Linden. They can't. They just can't. You know, they can't do it. They can't be in reading trade at the same time. You know, yeah. Unfortunately, it's either they don't have a good structure, good leadership system. They think everything is about them. Or maybe everything is about them. It's them alone in the party. There is that. So we saw some of our folks at Beirut there. And we really want to say congrats to all the folks who are working hard all over the place. And also we saw quite recently some of our folks on Hosuro Hill. Some folks would say in Hosuro Hill. I prefer to say on. You're on the hill. You're not in. However you choose to say it. On Hosuro Hill. And this is where we had that school, $2+ billion school, started and stopped, and they abandoned the project now. Hosuro Hill is where we showed you that. And I really want to say a big shout out to Ronald Cox and team. We're going to see you guys. This is Mabaruma Region 1, by the way. Beirut is on the East Coast, just in case you're kind of still pondering, where is this? Where is this? Beirut is on the East Coast, and Hosuro Hill is Mabaruma. It is in Region 1. And the folks out every day across this country, we're just giving you, as one woman said in 2020, a smattering of some of the activities in APNU. You know, because if we go on, this will become APNU show. APNU in the ring. So take a sampling of some of what happened in the campaign, the APNU campaign today. And as I said, this is happening all over the country on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. Teams are heading out and making the arguments. Thank you so much, Ronald Cox, and the folks who head up the work on the East Coast, Lloyd and his colleagues, Robin, and all the other beautiful folks, Ricky, our own colleague. Thanks to all you folks for the hard work you put in. Folks, do us a big favor. You're watching us, 2,300 of you. Share the live for us that others can get the valid and credible information. I know a lot of people are now tuning into politics. Y'all tuned me out for the last 5 years, and y'all now tuning in and say, let me see what these people come in and neighborhood and making all this nice about, you know. Shout out to all the folks, you know, before I rush on here, in the Mazzaroni where we just came from. You know, shout out to all those folks. You know, the power of social media is so interesting. It's so interesting. We got into Ramadan, Mr. Duncan in the ring. You know, I was like, what? Till up here to watching me. You understand why the people don't want to give the people proper internet? In Ramadan, we got to Purima. Some young people in Purima said, Mr. Duncan, we got to get a photograph with you. I said, what? Shout out to the good folks in Purima. Keiko. My God. Keiko is like a jewel among the indigenous villages there in Upper Mazzaroni. I love it. So beautiful, pristine and clean, fresh and crisp. Keiko, you know. Mbamadai could use some work. Mbamadai. We got into Mbamadai, a brief stop, an unplanned stop in Mbamadai. Same thing. In the ring, Mr. Duncan. What the hell? Mbamadai. You know, shout out to all of you who watch us. You know, you got your little internet, you got your little star links and so on, and you watch us. Thank you. Folks, I was shocked. In Mbamadai, for instance, bottle of cooking gas, $15,000. What are you paying $4 or $5 for? Right? A box of food is $3,500. Simple box of food. $3,500. When I heard those prices, right? I ate the food with a little more, you know, like you got it, you know, the kind of food, fine food eating, you got to stick out your pinky finger. That's how I eat the food, because with this price here, you know, it's Mr. Food. You know, a bottle of water was $600-$700. This is a small bottle of water, you know. How can people survive? And you know who live in those areas? Quote unquote, poor people. Them people really are poor in a sense, you know. In a sense. Because I'm not buying water for $600 a bottle like that. I'm not paying $15,000 a bottle. Well, it's cold pot, take one. Cold pot, take one. I had a different view of life and appreciation when you go and you see how these people live, you know. But that place is rich in resources. Mining is a big thing there. They can't even benefit from the rare metals, the rare earth beneath their feet with this installed regime. I keep telling you all, and I ain't joking. Right? Yes, go to the States, China, Europe, Barbados. I see Panama is a big thing now. But see your own country. See, dwell among your own people. You know, I felt reinvigorated, very tired from the traveling. And again, we're back on the road tomorrow. But so invigorated to keep pressing forward on the path that I've set my feet on, the path that the team is on. I felt so reinvigorated, you know. Brought back some cassava bread, authentic. I ain't talking about Kanto cassava bread. Big like my head, bigger than my head. Big, thick cassava bread too. You know? Bucks you across your head one night, wake up all the ancestors. Thick cassava bread. Had a fantastic time. You know, heading back out tomorrow, folks. Again, to bring you the valid and credible information. That's what we've been committed to. And again, big shout out to all the teams working throughout the country. And I tell you all, get in touch and find out how you all can play a part. Please and thank you. Do that for us. We'll circle back to some more of the politics in a second. I learned today that Eramad, this is sheriff people and so on. Sheriff family. Right? He is now demanding one lawsuit against our brother Travis Chase. $30 million. He's demanding as damages. Now, when I saw this, I went to my wallet right away. You know, I said, let me see what I got here. Can't leave my brother out there by himself like that. Matter what. Matter what. But this is what this installed regime does. You know, if I respond with a lawsuit to every inaccuracy, every fallacy, every slander, every libel, you know, everything they say about me out there, my God, that consumes all of my time. All of my time. But I could see the writing on the wall with a lot of folks. I watched him and I said, Duncan, you can get the laugh. You can get the laugh. Fidel Albert, Diane, Christopher, Savage, Jinsing, Yvette, Mandy, Wenda. Don't bother with them. You're going to have the last laugh. You know? That's how my faith instructs me, Mandy. Who has the final say? Jehovah has the final say. You know? You put your hand in the hands of the man who got the plan. You got to go. My son Jean-Pierre turned 16 today. So we got our brother Travis. We got a brother Travis. Appeal it just like them. Just like them. Don't matter who say concatenation and vexatious and spurious and curious. Whatever the case may be. We're pressing forward. We're pressing forward. We're pressing forward. So our eldest son, the lady had a child, what's it be? But we thought to say, you know, in this postmodern age, we're pregnant. All I do is rubbing the lady foot, you know. Rubbing her foot, we're pregnant. Our son, Jean-Pierre, turned 17 today. We're so proud of John. He quite like his father. Quiet like his father. I don't even know when 17 years happened. You know? Chinsing, I don't know. Y'all didn't tell me this time is fly past so quick. Y'all didn't tell me. Right? Y'all didn't tell me. Savage and Marlin and Everett, Linton, Vesta. Y'all didn't tell me the time just flew by. A year from now, I got an 18-year-old. We got an 18. we got an 18-year-old. You know? A year from now, right? Our middle son, Ethan Lee. I have love hyphenated names. Don't ask me why. They do me. You know? So Jean-Pierre, Ethan Lee turns 9 in December. And then we got the little one, no, Jesus Lord. You know the last child. By the time you have your last child, let's say the girl doesn't happen. You know? You're tired. Right? By the time you get to number 3. by the time you get to number 3, you're running on fumes. That's really disgusting one. Right? You see when he's sleeping? When he's sleeping, Father mercy. Jesus. There's a God. Thanks for the invention of sleep. My God, this last one, he taking advantage now. He taking advantage. We're so proud of John Pierre. You know. I get a couple things right in my life. Right? A couple things. This wasn't everything. A couple things. And he was one of them. He was one of them that we got right. Right? John Pierre, he's my favorite son. Don't tell the others I said that. I'm the only parent who says that to all the kids. The little one said, you are the favorite. Don't tell the others I said. John Pierre is the favorite one. He's the favorite one. So we're so proud. And he might be watching somewhere in the world tonight. He lives in New York with his mom. He's watching me from someplace today. But we're so proud of him. We're so proud of him. I just wanted to pause for a second, you know, and just kind of appreciate something that isn't political. so much for that. So much for that. The people opening the road, eh? Well, you remember when I did that? Let me see. Vesta, 17 years flew by. 17 years. Well, you remember when I said? Let me see if y'all are real political activists out there. Huh? You remember that action? You know, that's the beauty thing with us Guyanese. You could smell a fragrance, you know, the whole essay. You could hear a song, you know the whole thing. You know, like somebody just got to strip and slap. You get it. You know the whole story. Somebody who gets the sanctions, man. You know the whole thing, top to bottom. You know? So let me see if my political activists, yeah, Concussion Road. Y'all easy, boy. Y'all not easy. My God. Concussion Road. So when I saw, right, cycling, or I was a hot boy. Apparently I was a hot boy. If I tell y'all, you know, ever so often about me, hot girl grandmother, you know, my grandma's a hot girl. You think when the apple fall, it's fall as lime? When I saw the people opening the road, you know, you don't get excited, you know. You just got Mark Rubio. Come and test it. You got a Mark Rubio. My God. The man said we almost had a concussion. You know what? We got to take a lot of nonsense, you know. We were driving on that road, right? And you don't want to start no problems. So when chewing, you go home and you're back hurting. You get a headache, right? And it's not a kind of headache like when your wife says, I got a headache. It's not a kind of headache, right? You get a real headache. And you already want to start no problems, right? So you're just kind of bearing your chip. You know how we do this thing, right? You know how you see your whole life flashing on Kaicho News front page, right? You don't want to start no problem, so we just bearing it. The man comes. We almost had a concussion. My team and I, who built that road? He just left the man that built the road. Right? So they said they're opening the Great Diamond to Craig Bypass Highway. Right? They're opening it. All right. All right. Good for y'all. Good for y'all. Right? The test of the pudding is in eating. So we can all get the road bill soon enough. One more state visit. I bet you them bringing a Rubio down that road anymore. Marco Rubio. I bet you they're not bring him down the Great Diamond Bypass. Someplace else, probably fly straight to Main Street. So the folks said opening the road. Listen, that bridge is a lot of problems in the afternoon coming. One of the things that why we even featuring this, they gotta do the home PR as poor as they do it. One of the things that really piqued our interest here is them saying they're trying to hurry to open it to alleviate congested traffic. So hold on. You're trying to do what? Hold on. So you tell me the whole stretch of the Heroes Highway, all them connecting roads, we still in the same spot? That's what you're telling me? We come off the market, we are still in the same spot? Jesus of mercy. Father have his mercy. We still in the same spot. To ease congestion. So this is the missing link, apparently. This is the missing link. Look, a lot of folks bracing themselves. One, so whenever the new Harbor Bridge is open, whenever, I told you before, I say it again, I saw some PPP folks in, we can take a little year, we hope then dismantle the big bridge. Yet, if anything, we can come wrong still with the speedboat. We take a little year and see how things shape up. That's what I said. That bridge got some final destination stuff. You build a little road, 2x4, and that road is like biscuit out breaking up already. It's whole bridge. People can trust y'all to build. So we're watching it. It's the extension of Concussion Road. We're watching that. Interestingly, it's around election time, local government, general and regional elections. You hear all kinds of things from this government. My God. You hear, what are you doing a year? It's doing a day. What are you doing in 5 years? So here is the director of prisons, I think is Mr. Samuel, talking about Ghana has the lowest repeat offenders rate. The lowest. I don't know if you count the government in this. The lowest repeat offending rate. Lowest in the CARICOM, I think it is. The lowest in the CARICOM. Really? All right. Like me explain tricks. When you look at some of this break and enter and possession, unlawful possession, and so on, it's like the one set of people all the time. We never capturing the big fishes. It's always this small man. So I have a healthy skepticism, healthy distrust of any figures I see right now. Whatever happened to the 2022 census? Where are we on that? No, those are some numbers I'd like to look at. Those are some numbers I'm very, very, extremely, very interested in. You see? Extremely, very interested in. Those are some numbers I want to see. Those are some numbers I would really, really want to see. So, we're watching it, folks. That being said, our thoughts and prayers with the family of this head teacher, this PPP activist, who they told us collapsed and died last evening, as we were signing off the program, the gentleman was talking something about the Blue Party and then collapsed and died. And this is Daniel Williams. Our thoughts and prayers with his family. And I don't wish to be unkind to him and his death, but I don't want to be try to be politically correct either. Right? And I don't like controversy and so on. I'm a truth teller, speaking truth to power. So I don't want to be a hypocrite. Our thoughts and our prayers with his family. There he was on the campaign trail, and something he was talking about the Win Party. I heard them boys say today, like, Win went Guatemala. You all know what I mean on the streets? You all know what I mean on the streets? When you can't tell me you don't know what I mean on the streets. Wilma, Roderick, and Savage, and Andrew and Dexter. They said, like, Win went Guatemala for Daniel. I don't know. What I know is, and it's fact, is that he was talking about the Win Party when he just collapsed and rushed to the hospital. Daniel Williams, they told us he died on the spot. He was a head teacher, right? He was a head teacher, right? Yeah, at the 3 Mile, I think, secondary school. But also what we knew, that Mr. Williams is one of those persons who had a lot of contracts building roads in Bartica. Bartica is a unique place. There's a medical doctor who gets most of the road infrastructure contracts. And while I was there a week or two ago, the folks were pointing out property after property, the dock buying up, big buildings going up, the roads that are supposed to be built, and not only built like Concussion Road, built better, built stronger, right? A lot of unfinished projects. But you see them houses finishing, right? The quactor, doctor turned contractor. And they said that was the way that Williams went to. He was a head teacher at the Bartica Secondary School. And he was on the road most of the day, they tell us, inspecting works and so on. No, listen to me. All of us are going to transition this life one way or the next. It's just a matter of when and how, right? And you don't have to bring no flowers to me. When that roll is called up yonder, you see, you could talk the truth and say, I never like he. Big head rascal, at least be honest about it. Don't come and talk no falsity, right? It doesn't take away from the fact that we could say, that we are sorry and that he passed like this. You might have political enemies who got how much of a contracts and they're not supposed to have it because they're not qualified and all that. But doesn't take away our humanity, right? But I also want to chime in and try to be politically correct, So our thoughts and our prayers. But again, for people who are involved in politics, it's a real eye-opener in a sense. It's a real eye-opener in a sense that we just keep going, and oftentimes we don't take too much cognizance of our health, We don't. We do not take cognizance of our health. And we should, because none of us ever thinks about transitioning, at least not all of us, right? You think I taking chance? I don't get a letter to the boys. Who gets what goes where? The federal program done right it on top of the thing. Who say, I think y'all come and talk nonsense by me. Get me on top of the ground lang with a set of foolishness. Our thoughts and our prayers. Daniel Williams, gone too soon. Our thoughts and prayers with his family. Right? Our thoughts and prayers are with his family. Christopher Chasta, good to see all of you on the live tonight. As we wrap up, folks, let's see. As we wrap up. You wouldn't think when you listen to this installed government sometimes that they have had about 30 years in power now. Right? 30 years. You had a little break. They had a little rest. and then they come back. I've been to Region 1. Going back to Region 1. And the folks in Region 1 tell us they've been left behind. They've been forgotten. Right? The folks at Mabaruma told us that. Maruka, we're in Maruka a couple of weeks ago as well. Port Kaituma. I'm going to Port Kaituma too. Going to Mabaruma too. We've been left behind. We don't see this development. We don't know where it's gone to. That people keep talking about. We don't know where it's at. I showed you the Hosuro Hill school abandoned. They started. You can't say they didn't start it. How else they can thief the money? And then the project is abandoned. As I said, we went to Middle Mazaruni. Just came back from Region 7. The airstrip at Purima. 3 years, a little airstrip can be finished, even though you can't get right. Even that, Camarang, the hospital. It's a good thing I born 35 years ago. Flashlight. Flashlight. I remember as a child going to the Mackenzie Hospital. My mother was working there at Girl in it. My mother was working there. And I remember how it smelled clean, how it looked clean, like you could eat off the floor. The last time I had that experience, I was standing at a hospital in South Carolina called, I think it's Mary Black. The floor was like glass. I felt I was contaminating the floor, standing up in that, looking at this. This wasn't a hospital, this was a campus. Standing in one of the main buildings, looking around, being shown around, relative to showing off of me. This is where we was working. Me know what you are calling regional. This is a regional hospital, My cousins, there's rain out to rub things in your face. Right? Rain out to rub things in your face. Cheryl, why you doing shush? Cheryl, Pancham, why you doing shush? When the people show me their little regional airport, I shame. I shame for I almost said Piako. I shame for Jenny Chaga and Eugene Cryer put together. Put together. You understand me? Put together. That young captain that took us up to Cameroon, he should get a prize, boy. He should. I give him medal of service one time. One time. Right? It's either he the very talented or he the fed up away. Fed up away. You may say, however, this plane landed here today. When we saw the weather was set up, everything foggy. Clouds. I see this white. Rain beating down on this plane. I think I may have been feeling some raindrops. I can't be certain. It reminded me of being in the, what river was that? Was that the Camarang River? One of the rivers there the other night. Pitch dark, 8:30 night. Mist heavy, heavy, heavy. In this river, you could barely see the bow. Is the bow in front of this turn? You could barely see the bow on the boat. Heavy, heavy darkness. Fog. Everything white. And a man through the rain. Young pilot. Mama, you say you talking too much. You plane going down today. We said this man can make a beeline. I don't know if he got fuel for Georgetown or what have you. Carry to let him or something. I don't know. What's the closest pipe? What's the closest? Them. You see, brought that plane down. I said, wow. When he put that plane down, I'm not one for clapping. I passed the stage in my life when the plane touched. I stand up in the plane, hit my head a couple of times. Well done, Captain. Well, well done. The man now promising 30 years in power. 5 years, premiership can't finish. Baby's being delivered by flashlight at Camrang Hospital. Listen story here now. At Camrang Hospital, right? The folks said they asked the indigenous community for land. Listen to the story. Right? For land. They want 25 acres of land for hospital. 25 acres. Now, I say, well, maybe they know what they're doing. 25 acres. Then the people said, they said Georgetown Hospital in on 10 acres of land. What do they want 25 acres for? You see this government here? You see this government here? 25 acres they want. So like this hospital got its own runway. I don't understand. So the people said 25 acres they want. Georgetown Public Hospital is not on 10 acres. So the people know skullduggery afoot. We went into the community where Desiree Fox is from. You all remember former Minister of Education? Desiree Fox. Desiree Fox, irrespective of her being across the political aisle from us. Right? Priya couldn't make it with Desiree Fox. You all remember Desiree Fox? My God. We went into that place. That community where she's from. Waramadang. They got some education concerns, sports concerns. Right? Big indigenous community. Minister of Education never went once in 5 years. Charles Ramson never went once in 5 years. I'll end with this little anecdote. Right? Reported news don't become the news. I hope Charles is watching tonight. Some people think I like confrontation. So I in the stands, quietly observing the match, you know, keeping my eyes on the team and so on. All your boys, Charles, come around. I'm looking for my notes. The day before we put out a story about what the people told us there. The people said the lights weren't working. They weren't giving too much in terms of for the game and so on. They wanted more to make the Upper Pass Ruling District games a bigger success. Right? So y'all buy Amberung now. I tell you what don't do in a year, I always do in a day sometimes. That is always no election time is here. Amberung to my stand. Right? He and his entourage. And then he talking to the people loud. You know, people trying to get your attention. Right? Loud, and this and that. Good to see y'all here, man. I see Sheridan is here with y'all. Then the Bible says, set your face like a flint. I just want to concentrate on the game. And that's all I want to do here. And he carrying on and carrying on. The lights working? We put out a story about the lights and the floodlights there. The lights are working? Like he thinks we about propaganda around here. Well, you open up yourself then now for the people. You open up yourself now, President. Right? I said no. Here's the story. I making notes, you know. No, because he wants my attention. You have it. I start making notes. The light working, no. So he said, he confused now. He said, really? Let's say we want a separate generator for the lights. That's the first time in 5 years he visited. And he stand up next to me to make an impression, talking to the residents in the stands. They said, no, we need a new generator for the lights. I said, all right. You see, we're making some notes here, right? Me ain't see nobody with paper. I got my phone, eh? I making notes. Right? Not for him. You see me making notes, eh? Sorry. He said everything else is all right. They said no. They said no. We need more money. Games. Hundreds of indigenous brothers and sisters descended on Waramadong for these Upper Mazaruni District Games. Them boys gave 1.3 million. That can't even do for fuel. There's no road there. Everything is river, boat, fuel. 1.3. Here the liner. Well, you all know we gave you all 20 million last year. You know we gave you all 20 million last year. You know they have a tendency of looking wrong for accreditation or acknowledgement or what have you. Second one, me. So you're ashamed by this point. You're ambling. Everything else is all right. Everything else is okay. Here the folks say, what happened to the FIFA standard ground you promised me? Basically for the first time in 5 years, they said, what happened to the FIFA ground standard ground you promised me? Huh? The futsal ground you promised me. Well, you know, we got a budget for these things. We got a budget. We're making notes. We got a budget. First time in 5 years. The SEA game. First time in 5 years. All right, it's not in 5 years because the term ended, the 5-year term came at the end on the 2nd of August. And this was after that. So he was outside the 5-year term. But I'm making promises. Region 1, all these services will be made available in a year. Vote back for me. That's what they're really saying for. So we can promise you more things 5 years from now. And we ain't doing nothing. Vote back for we. Region 1. This is the nonsense that goes wrong with you now. Folks, if it were a lie, I would have told you so. Them boys have abandoned the hinterland. Even where they put in some internet hubs. The people say the internet is so slow. Right? It is so slow, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Even when they put in the internet hubs. And maybe all of that is for a reason. We went to Mbamadai, Keiko, Jawala, Parima, right? We went to Ramadan, and it's a consistent thread. Poverty, cost of living, and poverty, twinning them. And the second thing, highest on the agenda, was land rights. Those indigenous brothers, our indigenous brothers and sisters, sitting on billions of dollars of gold, and people are sent in to mine that out from under them. Mine that out from under them. And they get ravelins for it. Okay. If those people are left to their own devices through like the Upper Mazaruni District Council, the Amerindian People's Association, they don't need no intervention from central government, you know. They don't need no intervention from central government. Jawala Village, built a year ago, I think it was, a multi-purpose center for themselves. No help from government for $100 million. Just by royalties they receive, and that is the trickling of the royalty that they receive. The left, the kush. Left to themselves with the resources they have. They don't need central government and LCDS. There's additional benefit. And we heard time and again, we have preserved our forests. while working these forests, living off of these forests. Who is them for tell we must only get 50%? Who is them? We're going to see you guys in the next one. Let us leave it there. We're off tomorrow again, folks, to bring you the vital, incredible information. We're outside again from tomorrow. Thank you guys for your love and your support and your hospitality, staying with us and seeing with us with our sporadic main programming. But we're still going to be updating you where we are, what we're doing, and what is happening on the ground there. We're on the home stretch now, folks. So we beg your indulgence. That's going to do it for us today. And thanks for joining us, all of you wonderful, beautiful folks. Thank you so much. Alex and Candy, Nileen, Inderjit. Candy, it's so refreshing seeing your name going up there in the comments. Neville and Renella. Oren, Renella, please say hello to your son for us. Kim and Mandy and Jacqueline and Pretty Milicia. Bonita and all the other folks. Janice, Chinsing, Henry. Good to have all of you on the live. We're going to leave it there tonight, folks. That's our time. Good, folks. And that's our program. Stay safe. Stay